Well, that might be your truth, but it's not my truth. What about the alternative truth? What is truth, anyway? Does it matter? Hi, I'm Mac Frazier, writer, pastor, rock-kicking refutationist, and I believe in the truth. I think truth matters. In fact, I care quite a lot about truth, about objective truth, if you're ready to entertain that idea. And as much as I care about truth, I also recognize that it is easily abused. So let's talk about that. First of all, does the idea that in a conversation there may be somebody who is more right and someone else who is less right, someone who's closer to the truth and farther away from the truth, make you at all uncomfortable? It makes a lot of people uncomfortable these days. Who am I to judge what's right and what's wrong? You have your truth, I have my truth. That's a very common approach to take. And when someone comes out and says, no, this is the truth, a lot of people tend to react against that. That wasn't so much the case 50, 100 years ago. But in the postmodern generations, that kind of talking and that kind of thinking has become really unpopular. So for instance, what if I were to tell you, putting green peppers on a cheesesteak that you make for somebody who did not specifically ask for green peppers is objectively wrong? It's not a matter of opinion. It's just the way it is. Well, first of all, I'd be right, because in Philadelphia, green peppers are an option, as are all sorts of other crazy things. But if you order a cheesesteak, you're not going to get green peppers unless you ask for them, which you're welcome to do if that's what you like. All joking aside, aren't there things that are objectively true or objectively false? Or is everything just a matter of opinion? Well, here's my opinion. There is an objective truth out there in the universe, and it matters. And it's separate from everyone's personal individual perceptions of truth. It's separate from my opinion and your opinion. It just is. If there were no objective truth in the universe outside of any one human's perception, life wouldn't work. Even if it did work technically, it wouldn't really be very pleasant. Think about it this way. Basic truths about the physical behavior of the universe are true, and therefore they're reliable, and they're consistent, and we can make decisions based upon a reasonable expectation of what will happen next. If I drop a pencil on the ground, it's going to end up on the ground. And if nobody comes and picks it up, it will stay there. That's just the truth. Now you can argue, well, what if a bird comes by and takes it? That's not what I mean. Within the framework of here's the universe, here are the laws that govern it, here are the objects in it, here's where they all are now, go, you should be able to reasonably predict a lot of things. And it's because of the existence of an outside truth. If I pick up a pair of glasses off of the ground that somebody else lost, and then they come back to look for those glasses, they won't be there. Even if they really, in their heart of hearts, believe that they would be there, they're not, because there's only one pair of glasses that are those glasses, and I came along and I picked them up and walked away with them. That's just objective reality. It's true that those glasses are in my hand, not where the person thought they would be. If you think about it, engineering, architecture, medicine, these things become impossible if there aren't objective facts out there. Science becomes undoable. In fact, what's the point if we all get our own truth? So you can see, at least on one level, there is an objective reality. As much as you may want something to be a certain way, or even believe absolutely that things are a certain way, you walk off the edge of a cliff, you're still going to fall down and die. Your beliefs don't make any difference. Truth is important. Once you accept that idea, it then makes sense to say, well, I want to know more truth, not less. Or at least I want the things that I know to be closer to the objective truth than farther away. When we talk about how you and I may have our own truths to speak, what's that really talking about? Well, everyone has their own perspective on the truth. And some perspectives are equally valid as others, but they can't all be equally valid because there's still that outside truth to compare those perspectives to. And yet we get hung up on either making it okay that everyone has their own truth, or on the flip side, we get hung up over just bashing each other because someone else isn't as close to the objective truth as we think we are. Now, I said you should want to be as close to the truth as you can get, because that's how you make decisions. And the closer your perception is to the reality of the universe, the better your decisions are. And if you make better decisions, you'll be happier, you'll be more successful, you'll be a much more pleasant person to be around. That's how you become a good person, by not only wanting to be good, but having the information you need to be good successfully. But truth, apart from that goal of being good, turns ugly really fast. It's one of the basic failings of the human mind, honestly, that we get hung up on the truth to the extent that it blinds us to what is good. Now, I'm not saying that the world is set up so that there's a conflict between what's true and what's good. And in fact, that's really not how it works. I'm saying the opposite. But there's often a perceived difference when you decide truth is the most important thing. I think truth is very important. But if you hold truth up as the highest, most important thing in the universe, and you start judging other people based upon how close to the truth their understanding is, when you start judging yourself based upon what you know and what you think, you end up going down some bad paths. Because you end up attaching yourself to your current perception, which is the exact opposite of what you should want if you're a truth seeker. Rather, if your goal is to know what's true and to be able to make decisions based upon as accurate a picture of the universe as you can, then your response to someone else having a different idea of what's true should not be, ooh, better attack that, that's a threat. It should be, hey, this is an opportunity for me to check my own understanding, find where it's wrong, because we make mistakes, all of us, and then adjust it. And maybe this other person that I'm talking to has a better understanding of what's true. I want that understanding too. We should want to see other people's perspectives. And yet, our instincts are to defend the existing ones we have. We don't like changing our minds. We, to a certain extent, don't like learning. Because learning is threatening. It changes not just how you think, but really fundamentally who you are at the deepest level. You're becoming someone else. And the existing you pushes back against that. And that's normal. And you need to work to overcome it. So don't hold on to truth for truth's sake, and certainly don't use who's more or less right as a contest to determine moral value. Don't use it as a weapon to bash people with. Don't use it as a high throne from which you can look down on all these people who have less truth or the wrong truth. But don't reject the idea of right and wrong either. Lots of people are wrong. Most people, most of the time, are wrong about something. So instead of letting go of the idea of truth, let go of the idea that because there's a truth, someone has to win. It's as simple as that. And as hard as that. In short, always seek and value truth, but not to the degree that it blinds you to what's good. In religious terms, don't get so caught up in having the right faith that you don't act as a charitable person with love and kind regard to other people. And in fact, really, whether you're a Christian, a Buddhist, even an atheist who just cares about other people, the smart thing to do, as well as the good thing to do, maybe the true thing to do, is to celebrate all the different perspectives that you encounter, knowing that some of them are wrong. And some of them are going to be more wrong or less wrong. And some of them are going to be less wrong than the ones you have. And you can learn from them. Let other people's opinions improve your pursuit of what's objectively true, so that you can be more successfully a good person. That's the plan. Well, if you find discussions like this, like how the objectivity of truth has significance in your daily life and how you ought to balance truth pursuing with doing good, stuff like that, then why don't you click subscribe to this channel? And what's more, if you know somebody that you think would benefit from this video, send them a link. I'm not getting any money out of this. I'm not sponsored. I'm not monetizing it. I'm not doing this for any reason other than to get these ideas out into the world. Because I think the more we talk about stuff like this, sometimes deeply philosophical stuff, in concrete terms, the better the human race gets. And I happen to live around a lot of the human race, so this benefits me, I suppose. Anyway, click subscribe, click like, ring the bell, do the thing, comment, share it. Have a good day.